Kent State students have reported mold in their dorms. See how the university responded.
A brand new homecoming event made its debut yesterday. We have more details on the skating action ahead.
2 Kent State alums are celebrating their graphic novel release about a topic that hits close to home.
Tuesday, the nation celebrates one of the unsung heroes on the dairy aisle. All these stories and more on TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kennedy Gotham.
And I'm Raygene English.
Kent State students have reported mold growing in their dorm rooms. The reports come from students living in the halls connected to Eastway.
Social media posts were also made commenting on the mold growing in their dorms. TV2's Jacob Brooks has the story. Jacob?
So we talked to 2 Eastway RAs who say they reported the mold to the university in mid-August before students moved in. And the RAs asked that we alter their voices to protect their identities. Kent State first confirmed the existence of mold in some of the dorms last Thursday in an email to Eastway residents. So far, the mold has been confirmed in the 4 residence halls that make up the Eastway complex.
Our mission statement states, we create safe and inclusive communities that foster student success. This isn't being safe.
2 RAs told us that mold has been an issue in Eastway for over a month. These pictures appear to show mold growing on the floor of a Fletcher Hall dorm room on August 17th, 2 days before students started to move in.
I'd say when we moved in and there was the mold at the beginning of the year, it was more visible on like the floors and like that kind of thing on objects, not necessarily the vents. Now it's progressed to the vents.
They say they believe university housing officials knew about the mold after the RAs did building walkthroughs to document any issues before students moved in. This hasn't been confirmed by the university.
They 100% knew since the beginning of August because we've put work orders in, but there's been a big disconnect between UFM, housing.
The university has not confirmed when they first knew about the mold. According to the RAs, the situation also prompted calls from parents.
And I don't blame them because they're paying how much for housing and it's these conditions.
According to one of our RA sources, they and their residents have been sick with what they believe are symptoms of mold exposure, though none that have been confirmed by a medical professional.
My residents have been like, oh, I'm sick, or you hear them coughing. I've been sick for the last 3 weeks. I don't know what it is. My residents have been complaining about headaches. Other residents have been complaining about headaches that I've heard from other RAs.
The university has been cleaning rooms and room air units after they got complaints from students about the mold. However, one resident says their room was cleaned a few weeks ago, but they say the mold is returning.
It's not as bad as what it was then, but it's starting to come back up.
The RAs say they wish the problem had been handled sooner, and now they hope that students don't blame them for the problems.
It's very frustrating because as a building, we are very connected, we're a team, we try to get things done, and then we just feel failed by people higher up, quite truthfully.
So a second email from University Housing was sent out around 5 p.m. today, and this email addressed students' concerns and also gave tips for preventing mold and mildew growth. The email included how to put in a work order and also information on university facilities management's cleaning process. University President Todd Dyken addressed the mold concerns in his media availability this morning. Take a look.
I think we're talking about roughly 8 rooms. That's what the senior vice president told me. All the residents in those rooms have been given an opportunity to move elsewhere, and I know they're starting to clean those rooms. I know that next summer we're going to turn on the HVAC systems earlier than we did before move-in, and then step up our inspections. I don't want mold in my residence hall. I don't want mold in my office. So we're definitely going to pay a lot of attention to it.
And just moments before the start of our show, we confirmed more than a dozen work orders complaining about mice in Eastway's 4 halls between mid-August and mid-September. University spokesperson Eric Mansfield said in an email that they have received just 1 report of mice since September 16th. And I'll have more on this on Friday, so stay with TV2 for continued reporting on residence hall conditions. For TV2 News, I'm Jacob Brooks.
6 students from Northeast Ohio Medical University lobbied Kent City Council last week, asking the council to approve, quote, Medicare for all. The 6 students shared their stories and explained why the system they are training in is broken. The student said resident employers and the city of Kent would save money if this program was put into place. The council agreed to discuss this topic at their next meeting on October 5th.
Akron will soon have a civilian board overseeing its police department after City Council approved the measure Monday night. The legislation comes months after 25-year-old Jalen Walker was shot more than 40 times and killed by Akron police officers, setting off nationwide protests and increased pressure for police reform. The 11-person board is appointed by the mayor and Akron City Council to represent each of Akron's 10 wards and will have mandatory training before beginning their duties, which is including overseeing police practices, recommending disciplinary actions, and more.
Good Tuesday evening, Portage County. I'm Nathan Welsh with your weather forecast. Currently in Kent, it is 56. Feels like 53. It's pretty chilly out. I'll admit that. Dew point at 42 degrees gives us a humidity at 59%. Winds from the west at 13 miles an hour, blowing all over the place. It's crazy out there. And visibility out to 10 miles. And as we look into tonight, we're going to see some rain start to roll in. Got 45% chance of showers, and we're looking at that pretty much all night, all the way up to 3 p.m. tomorrow, sorry. And of course, some more high winds. We're getting into a bit of a windy time. It's very interesting. And as we look across northeast Ohio, we're seeing very similar temperatures to what we got here, 56 in Kent, all the way up to 60 up in Cleveland. But as we look across the rest of Ohio, we see all the way, of course, 65 in Cincinnati because it's practically a different state. And as we look across the live radar, we can see sort of what I was teasing earlier. Oh, there it is. That humongous big rain storm starts to build coming. Oh, my Lord, there it is. Yeah, so there we go. Kind of what I was saying earlier, but that's all for now. Stay tuned. I'll have your 7-day forecast and more after the break.
And to kick off homecoming week, students laced up their roller skates for Flash Bash, and TV2 reporter Abby Forbes laced up her skates too.
We just want to get everybody excited about homecoming and bring something new to Kent State.
The Flash Activities Board collaborated with the undergraduate student government to kick off homecoming week with a new event, Flash Bash.
Fab reached out to us a couple weeks ago asking to collaborate on an event for Flash Bash. We were really excited by the idea of roller skating.
This event ran from 5 to 7 p.m. September 26th and featured roller skating, bucket hat giveaways, and other treats. And while students are no stranger to the Kent State bucket hats or treats, roller skating was a blast from the past on campus.
I know that they've done roller skating in the past, but not, since I've been here, so I wanted to bring something different, but something that we've already kind of done before.
To make this event possible, there were some steps that needed to be taken. Participants needed to sign waivers prior to skating, and while this event was originally supposed to take place outdoors, organizers ran into a bit of an obstacle with the impending weather.
But the rain did not stop them because Fab moved the event indoors to kick off homecoming week. It was all right. We had a backup location and we made it work, and I think we still had a good turnout even with the location change.
And despite the setbacks, those that attended said that they were glad this event and other homecoming events are taking place because of the sense of community that they bring to Kent.
I think it can make people feel more welcome here and just gives them something to do other than just sitting in their dorm.
I think it really gets students involved and it gets you out there meeting new people, trying new things, and just having a good time socially.
Reporting in Kent for TV2 News, I'm Abby Forbes.
The crazy train that is homecoming keeps moving forward with a whole list of events, starting with the Flash Activities Board is hosting a midday craft on Wednesday starting at noon. There's also a Homecoming International Celebration on Friday starting from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Kent Student Center, where students and alumni will be showcasing their cultures and performances from all around the world. Next up for your Friday evening is Homecoming Kickoff at the Hometown Bank Plaza, where there is music and fireworks blasting off at 8:15 to kick off homecoming weekend. Let's flip the page to hear about two Kent State alumni coming together to make something magical, a graphic novel, after the break.
And numerous protests have taken place all over Iran following the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
Two Kent alumni created a book that any girl could see themselves in.
Our reporter Olivia Sharp talked with a couple about the book, Play Like a Girl.
Play Like a Girl, a graphic novel, is written by Misty Wilson and illustrated by her husband, David Wilson, both of whom are Kent State alums, detailing her time in middle school playing football.
Actually playing, most of the boys ignored me more than they were mean to me. There were a select few that were like, you're a girl, we don't want you on our team because we want to win, which is where most of the focus in the book is on.
Wilson's idea to write this novel was inspired after seeing some of her students read similar coming-of-age stories.
I came home one day and I was like, I have an idea for a graphic novel. Would you want to maybe draw it? So it's kind of how it came about. It was just like inspiration from my students and the fact that we all kind of go through very similar experiences.
The Wilsons have been working on this project since late 2019, a project which was mostly a collaboration in their own home.
Working with Misty, just being in our own house, she was helping me color pages. I would like farm it off to her when the deadlines became too much. It was like, okay, you got to color these pages. Here's the colors I need you to use. Treat it like a coloring book and then give it back to me when you're done.
While Play Like a Girl does chronicle Wilson's experiences as a woman in sports, there is a more important message she wants readers to take away.
But I do think the biggest thing that I want the kids to get from it is being comfortable in their own skin and chasing those dreams and those goals despite adversity.
Play Like a Girl is on sale today wherever books are sold. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Olivia Sharp.
In some areas, there will be catastrophic flooding and life-threatening storm surge. And so if you're on Florida's Gulf Coast, from Naples all the way through the Tampa Bay area and some of the counties north of that, that could be something that happens. And it will certainly happen in some parts of Florida's Gulf Coast.
Category 3 Hurricane Ian just slammed through Cuba and is on its way to Florida. With winds of 115 miles an hour, Cuba lost power. Floodwaters covered fields and many trees and other plant life were destroyed. Officials in Florida are asking people to flee the peninsula on the west coast as Ian could be a life-threatening hurricane. And now moving back here to Ohio, I know everyone in Kent has been feeling a little bit more of a chill these past couple of days.
Yes, I certainly felt it. Let's see what our weather anchor Nathan Welsh has for us on those incoming fall temperatures. Hi, Nathan.
Hi, folks. I certainly do have plenty to say about the sort of fall weather we can expect. Now, looking into tonight, we've got pretty much very consistent temperatures at 49 degrees, and as I was saying before, showers all night. Not much to say here. As we look into tomorrow, we can see again showers that will persist well into the afternoon, all the way up until by 6 p.m. The sun's going to come out. No more rain, at least for today. And I say at least for today because as we look across, we do have some rain to look not forward to, but we'll see later in the week. But after tomorrow, it's actually going to be pretty sunny, all the way up to 67 Friday and Saturday. Nothing too fancy, but maybe you don't need to wear a jacket or a coat, maybe just a long sleeve shirt. And as we look into Monday and Tuesday of next week, those showers will be returning. Unfortunate, I know. And we're not really going to see any days of strictly, sun. It's getting to be fall time. The gray sky. I personally love it. I think it's gorgeous. and I mean all these temperatures. But if you are going to be attending any of the fantastic homecoming celebrations we got to see this weekend, it's actually not going to be that bad. Again, cloudy, mostly cloudy. The parade Saturday, you better be there. We're going to be there. But that's all I've got for tonight. I've been Nathan Welsh, TV2's self-proclaimed biggest fall fan, reminding you, Portage County, that this is the best season, so go out and enjoy it.
Following the death of 22-year-old Masa Amani, there have been protests in over 40 cities. Despite the government cracking down and media reports claiming the protests have ended, Amani was taken to a, quote, re-education center for not following the state's hijab rules. The protests in the city capital of Tehran resulted in at least 1,200 arrests. The protests have been morphed into talk of social factions, classes, and people calling for a fall of the regime.
Russians are revolting against the mobilization of its military reservists. Hundreds of anti-war protesters have been arrested as people pack the borders and airports in attempts to leave the country. CNN's Reid Binion has the latest.
At Russia's borders, people brave endlessly long lines in hopes of fleeing the country. And inside the country, outrage and tearful goodbyes as the mobilization of military reservists begins.
While in many ways this may address a manpower issue for Russia, what's not clear is whether or not it could significantly address the command and control, the logistics, the sustainment, and importantly, the morale issues that we've seen Russian forces in Ukraine experience.
Ukraine's president is urging Russians to resist.
55,000 Russian soldiers died in this war in 6 months. Tens of thousands are wounded and maimed. Want more? No? Then protest. Fight back, run away, or surrender to Ukrainian captivity. These are your options for you to survive.
Some say they oppose being drafted to fight in Russia's deadly onslaught in Ukraine.
I don't understand what's there to fight for. Why did we invade Ukraine? I'm against it.
Some say if they're called, they'll go.
If I receive a draft notice, I'll go.
New analysis by the Institute for the Study of War concludes Russia's mobilization is unlikely to dramatically shift the tide of the war, saying it will take weeks or months to bring reservists up to combat readiness, and that many were poorly trained to begin with. I'm Reid Binion reporting.
Nearly 1 in 5 adults have been infected with coronavirus, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. There is a wide range of symptoms, but the most common is loss of smell. And those suffering from prolonged COVID-19 symptoms are experiencing this. Health experts say you can retrain your nose to regain your sense of smell, and these 4 scents can help: rose, eucalyptus, clove, and lemon.
The Zoe Health study says it has documented a 30% increase in reported cases in England within the past week. The study is a project backed by grants from the UK government. It uses an app to let people in the UK and US report their daily symptoms and the results of their COVID home test. Officials with the project believe this could signal the next COVID wave.
It was an award-winning weekend for Kent State soccer. Who on the team received the hardware?
And today is National Chocolate Milk Day. How will you celebrate?
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Jack Berney with your TV2 Sports Report. We have an update on Myles Garrett and a Monday Night Football recap upcoming, but we start with the Kent State soccer team and their award-winning performances this past week. That's right, 2 Kent State soccer players earned Mid-American Conference Player of the Week honors for their performances last week versus Ohio and Akron. Freshman Kelsey Salopik earned Offensive Player of the Week honors. She totaled 3 goals on 5 shots across both games in a breakout performance. Junior Delaney Rinaldo was named the Defensive Player of the Week. She tallied 2 assists across the 2 games and played a pivotal role in holding both Akron and Ohio scoreless. The Flashes returned to the field Thursday at Western Michigan before returning home Sunday to face Toledo. And the Kent State men's golf team wrapped up play in the Wyndham Memorial today and finished tied for second overall. The Flashes led yesterday after a strong opening round, finishing 4 under par. Overall, the Flashes finished 7 over par after a +11 showing today. Individually, Ben McLean led Kent State, finishing tied for 4th overall with a score of 2 under par. Kent State's next tournament is slated for October 9th at the Bank of Tennessee Intercollegiate. And it was an NFC showdown to wrap up Week 4 of the NFL season. The Giants looked to remain perfect, while the Cowboys looked to win 2 in a row without their starting quarterback, Dak Prescott. And let's take a look at these highlights. There's Dak Prescott before the game. Cooper Rush making the start for Dak. Pick things up here in the third quarter. Saquon Barkley, he's going to cut back, make a defender miss, and he could go all the way to the crib for the touchdown. Giants take a 13-6 lead at the end of the third quarter, but here come the Cowboys with the response. Ezekiel Elliott dives across the goal line into the end zone. We've got a tie game headed into the fourth as the Cowboys tie things up at 13. Welcome to the fourth quarter, and welcome to the CeeDee Lamb show. He makes the catch there, stutter step, gets down to the goal line, and watch this next play, folks. Cooper Rush, fade route, corner of the end zone, CeeDee Lamb, one-handed snag. Let's take a look at that again. One-handed grab, great concentration, gets both feet in bounds. Cowboys take a 7-point lead. Last chance for the Giants. Daniel Jones steps up. It's picked off. Cowboys win 23-16, move to 2-1 on the year. And an update now on Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. Garrett was involved in a single car accident yesterday in Sharon Township. According to Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, Garrett swerved in order to avoid hitting an animal in the road. His car then went off the road, overturned, and landed in a ditch. Both Garrett and the female passenger were wearing seatbelts and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. According to his agent, Garrett was released from the hospital last night and did not suffer any broken bones. His status for Sunday's game at Atlanta is up in the air. More information should be made available when the Browns are back in practice tomorrow afternoon. And the AL Central champion Cleveland Guardians are back at Progressive Field tonight. They will face off against the Tampa Bay Rays. The pitching matchup involves 2 former Cleveland Cy Young winners. Corey Kluber is on the mound for the Rays, and he will be going up against Shane Bieber, who's pitching for Cleveland. Keep an eye on this game, folks, because if the playoffs started today, the Guardians would be the 3 seed and the Rays would be the 5 seed. So it could be a postseason preview. And that's all I have for sports. I've been Jack Berney. For updates on all things Kent State athletics, including Kent State's big homecoming football game this weekend, follow us on Twitter at TV2KSU Sports. Stay classy, Portage County.
And McDonald's is making an adult Happy Meal featuring a popular streetwear brand.
September 27th is National Chocolate Milk Day. An Irish-born physician is credited with inventing the chocolatey beverage in the late 1680s. According to the National Day calendar, he used cocoa local to Jamaica to make the creamy concoction. And he enjoyed it so much he took it back with him to England and shared it as a medicine. These days, most of us just enjoy chocolate milk because of its sweet and tasty appeal.
And starting Monday, McDonald's is collaborating with a popular streetwear brand to sell Happy Meals to adults. The new adult Happy Meals are called Cactus Plant Flea Market Boxes. You can order them with a Big Mac or a 10-piece Chicken McNugget. They come with fries, a drink, and even a toy. And the toys are McDonald's famous mascots redesigned, including Grimace, Hamburglar, and Birdie. And there's also a new mascot named Cactus Buddy. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why, no offense, but I don't know why adults would need a Happy Meal.
I think it's a great idea.
I'm going to have to speak up here.
Okay.
I actually got my own Happy Meal where you can just order the toy. You can say, hey, can I please have a Happy Meal toy? And they'll throw one in. It's like $2. I don't know.
Just for the fun of it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, would you guys go
I
and
would
get
totally
one?
get an adult Happy Meal. I feel like I would still order like a kid's Happy Meal, but now I get an actual adult Happy Meal. And the toys are great. Retro McDonald's mascots. We haven't heard from the Hamburglar in a while, so I'm glad to see he's back in the mainstream.
I will say, the characters from the old McDonald's are cute, but I don't eat McDonald's because I'm vegan. Sorry.
Well,
sorry, guys.
I don't know. I don't really eat McDonald's that much either, but I do love chocolate milk, though.
I love chocolate milk.
And maybe you can get chocolate milk as a drink in your Happy Meal. There we
go.
It all connects.
Perfect synthesis. There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
And that's all the time we have for today.
Thank you for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com.
And our social media on all platforms at Kent Wired. I'm Jack Berney.
I'm Nathan Welsh.
And I've been Raygene English.
And I'm Kennedy Gotham. Have a great night, Portage County.